Hello, hello, and welcome. Double drop down on this Easter Eve. We're closing it out. I figured I needed to fix up my Game Boy because I had an incident where you've watched me before fix Game Boys on this channel, and I got this advanced SP Game Boy. You know what I'm saying? And I fixed it up, cleaned it out, spent a lot of time, a lot of weeks getting it all pulled together. And then, of course, I freaking drop it and I break the casing. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how we might be able to fix it today on the stream. I wanted to wait, honestly, just to kind of hang out here and see who's going to jump on because I kind of feel like you've already been along for the journey already. You've seen me build it out. You saw me take it and clean it and fix it. And so I'm going to just continue showing it on stream as we fix this little Game Boy Advance. So the screen's fine. Everything's fine. The internals are great. It's just the outside that got messed up. So drats to that. We're going to go take a look at that in a little bit. How has your day been? It's been a little bit windy. I've got a lot of allergies lately, which has kind of been a pain in the ass. Everyone seems to be sick around me. So it's been nice just to be able to chill and rest and eat some decent food today. Ate a lot of eggs. What else did I eat? Oh yeah, some Polish sausage and some turkey. Some I guess traditional Easter type foods and whatnot. So that's what I'm coming off of is a nice day of eating food, lounging around. But guess what? I've been doing some cool stuff. I spent a lot of my morning because I had a lazy morning working in GB Studio. We talked about that a little bit on the show. I'm starting to make a game for Evil Dead 2. So there's going to be some behind the scenes today. You know what? I'm just going to take you along with that journey. I don't feel like I have to hold things behind there. Maybe give me some advice. Maybe I can take us along and get some good clips so we can talk about what it's like to make a game, because I feel like I'm designing a course or something I'm going to put together because I'm learning along the way. So I jump into GB Studio. I don't know anything about it. And now it's like 4 weeks, 5 weeks since I've actually found it. And I've started to dig in and I've actually liked it. So what did I do? I paid for GB Studio. And why did I do that? Oh, let me pause this. I paid for GB Studio because you can go get it for free. Apparently, you just go to the site, this itch.io, and it'll allow you to download it for free, which is awesome. And I think then that's because then they allow you to just kind of get into it, see if it's going to be something that's worthwhile. And I found it worthwhile, so I went and paid more than their asking price, at least, just because I find it that helpful, and it's like a really fun thing for me to do lately. So anyhow, getting into the GB Studio world has been really cool because I've started to kind of get back into that coding or that thought of logic and how it would really affect things. And I found out some really cool things, and I want to share those with you tonight. I started my first design of Ash, my first run through of his character design. So you're going to get the unveiling tonight, which is pretty badass. And we're going to also go try to fix a Game Boy. Like I said, here's the story. I swear to this. This is exactly how it went down. So I'm in there and I've been playing with this little this Game Boy Advance SP because it's badass. I just fixed it up. So I want to use it. I was like my frequent flyer. I was throwing it in the backpack. I was taking it places. I was playing games. So then I also got this other device that allows me to put things onto cartridges, which is also cool. So now I have Game Boy cartridges that are loaded with my game that I'm starting to build so I could do some testing on it. And I'm playing on my Advance SP Game Boy. Well, in the other room, I hear my Game Boy and my fiance is playing with it, and I was like, oh man, how bad would it be if she accidentally dropped it because I put it precariously on the edge of the thing? And she didn't. Obviously, like a champ, when played it, and was like, yeah, whatever, dude, you're cool, game, whatever. Puts that down. And I was thinking, like, oh, how terrible would it be if we dropped the Game Boy Advance SP? That would be bad. I thought those thoughts, and then I walked over to it, lifted it up, and proceeded to drop it. Just like I presumed or thought of and predicted could happen. So I was the one. It was like the Matrix moment. Like if I hadn't thought of it, would I have done it? And ugh. Anyways, that's behind me. We're gonna go look at that in a little bit. That's been the real reason I wanted to talk to you tonight because, like I said, when I jump in there and I start playing with my different systems and this particular one and cleaning it, you saw it like rise from the ashes to working to now being a broken housing. So I've done two things to rectify this. Two things. One of the things probably pretty predictable, and the other one absolutely predictable as well. Well, I'll just get it out there. Is I went online and of course I bought a housing. I bought a new one so I could get the clamshell housing because I really like that form factor. I have a couple Game Boys. I want to maintain that form factor in a Game Boy. But in the interim, just because I wanted to, and because it's gonna actually take a couple weeks to get this this one delivered that I wanted, which is probably aftermarket and not going to be that great, but whatever. Is I 3D printed one. Of course, you have to 3D print one, right? It's a 3D printing channel. So I went and found one on. Should we just go look it up online? I feel like we have these tools at our disposal, and we should look this guy up because I'm gonna go to not Tinkercad. We're gonna go to Thingiverse, and we're gonna find this Game Boy. Let me sign right in, and you'll see it in a second. Hold your horses. We'll get you in. You know, if you don't log in to Thingiverse, it will just like shoot you away or pull you away from the page that you were like trying to favorite something. So I'm gonna go to my collections here, and I'm gonna go to my game collections, and we'll be showing you the Game Boy that I printed. Here we go. All right. You don't need that on anymore. You know who I am. All right, so we're going full screen, and right here, oh shit, I do that a lot of the time. I know where this one should be. Is there's a lot of different Game Boy accessories, a lot of things. See this one, this Game Boy cartridge holder? I find that one really handy. I myself use this one for my Game Boy cartridges. It's so good. It's like a really good one. If you ever want to print it, go find this one. Potato Fi. Put this online. No excessive branding or anything. It's just very strategic. It just holds your games pretty well. So it feels like I have to show that off because if I got one of those, we should look at it, right? Let's go to that. Let's go to that camera right now. Don't worry, that was just a ruler. Actually, I knew it was going to fall. So, see, here's my 3D printed version of that. Look at that. It holds all kinds of different types of games. And I have this, like, Game Shark fits in there. And so what I was saying is what I liked about it is it's just so compact that you just can slide it right in there. So, examples of things that we're working with. So, anyways, that's that one if you're interested. But what I was going to show you is this is the Game Boy system. So there's an enclosure for an SP, Advanced SP. So somebody remodded this one. So it's Advanced SP enclosure. And what you'll notice, it's upright. So the game is looking good. And let's see here. I just got a text from Disturbed. He was talking about some hot new 3D printer on sale right now on the marketplace. I'm always in the market, but I'm never ready to pull the trigger. I'll tell you that much. And the reason why is I've just got to figure out what I really, really want in another printer. I really like Creality, but I got to tell you, I'm going for Prusa. So if it's a Prusa, I might be interested, but I really want to go direct from Prusa and do my DIY version of it and make it myself. And anyways, let's get on topic. We got this Game Boy Advance Remix. I came to this site. I looked at this. I don't actually even have any pictures of me printing this, but I printed this, okay? I did it all in black. There's like another thing that this was remixed off of. I think I just got to go back. Let's see here. It's not very apparent where it's at either. I guess I didn't. So we're going to have to do that. Let's do Game Boy. What? Advance? Yeah, we'll try this. I'll know it by the icon because it doesn't look like, oh, it's right here. See, this doesn't, it says Game Boy Advance SP enclosure, but it looks like a button. So it's not very good in terms of the marketing. So I don't know. I don't know if this thing's going to fit. That's what we're going to figure out tonight. If this guy, he made this Game Boy. This is what he made. So one of the first things is the SP, the clamshell. It doesn't have, it has a hinge and it has 2 buttons. So it looks like the stream is getting a little wonky right now. We're just gonna ride out the drop off here. Sometimes we drop frames because we know we have a terrible provider that doesn't give me consistent internet connection. So screw you, Comcast. That's always the one that seems to affect my internet connection. You know what? I'll trace my internal network here and I'll verify it. But I have good switches in his house and I get good speeds. It's just unfortunate that I can't pump out some really good quality content without you dropping it, Comcast. Okay, so I think we're good. We're back in the excellent, and we're going to continue on with the conversation because where we're getting is the Game Boy Advanced. This enclosure does not have the bumper buttons. So if you kind of look at this, it's actually pretty cool. It looks like an original Game Boy. The only difference is that you put this one in the bottom. Now, I did find another one where it actually, you can switch it around and put it in the top. But that requires some things that I don't want to do. And one of those things that I don't want to do is solder things right now. I'm not ready to just mess up this system. I just want to use the guts of it. And I want to put it over into our little thing right here. So do we have a little screen of this? I feel like we do. Look at that. That's perfect. So we're going to go and put that Game Boy together. But the other thing that I was really excited to show you guys today is a little bit on GB Studio. So have you heard of GB Studio? If you've not, and you like to do things that are creative, you got to get into this here. You know what? I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to show you the intro screen. So I think I'm going to do a little series on it. I feel like I got enough information. I've learned enough to get into it. But what you got here is the starter screen for GB Studio. So when you jump right in, it's going to give you some template options right off the bat. You'll notice it says template, and there's 2 types. There's one that's a sample project, and there's this other one that just really hits off with the GBS 1. So it's really a short template. It's all geared towards being just a Game Boy original type game. And you're not seeing any of the screen, and that's fine. So let's go ahead and go to that so we can take a look if we can. Let's do a solo. Oh, look at that. I've had this angle for a minute and I haven't been using it enough. But what we're at here is the screen for GB Studio. So I was just talking about this particular area where there's a template and there's a sample project. There's just a blank one if you just want to go in with nothing, guns a-blazing and figuring out how to do it. That's great. And actually, I want to use that sooner than later. What I find helpful is that these projects, when you kick them off, give you a full game. Well, a full game in the sense that they have the elements of different pieces of games that if you're creative enough and you use the pieces and parts there, you can organize it into a game itself. And so I would say if you've never coded before but are really interested, this might be a way in. And this is how I'm looking at it because I have coded, I have done things, I've done projects before. I've stepped away from it for some years. Now I really just want to make a game. I want to be a game maker, and I don't have enough time to go and learn more games that are much more complicated than a Game Boy game. So what a better system to do it than right here, right? So here we go. I'm not going to start this as a new game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open an existing project that I have out here. And it's my Evil Dead 2 project. And so if you knew what I had thought, is I didn't even know if it was plausible to make a Game Boy game. And this was just a little bit ago. It was probably about, five weeks ago. And so then I researched it. I found this. And I'm like, holy crap, it's possible to potentially make a Game Boy game. I could do it by myself. Maybe get a little bit of help, but I'm going to do it by myself. I feel like I got to nail this down. And so what I did is I ran what I was just talking about before, where I had a game. And I played with it. I looked at some of their stuff, and it didn't have all the pieces I need. So now I just started playing around with it, and I made my game. So we are going to look at this in a little bit because I want to first go repair the system that I play this game on. I've spent 8 hours printing a new shell to make this happen. So we're going to go back there. We're going to go get that thing fixed up. Then we're going to go check out what I've done in Evil Dead 2. And I'll tell you, there's going to be a reveal. We're going to look at the sprite, my first attempt at the sprite for Ash. And I want your advice on it. I feel like there's some changes I need to do, but I did some cool things with it. And so we're at least going to check out the sprite because doing pixel art is hella fun. And at the scale of 16 by 16 pixels, you have very minimal amount of things that you can do in that space. And especially when you only have a handful of colors. I have 4 colors. One of the colors I can't use whatsoever because it's basically the color that you put on the background that you make everything invisible behind. So we'll get into that soon. I need to get back here and let's transition because it's time to go fix my dang Game Boy. Okay. I hope this is on. And it is. So, this is actually where the incident happened. It happened right here at this desk. So I picked it up and here's a little pieces. It's hard to really show you this off. So you saw me fix this little guy up. Now if I open it and you're going to see right here. Oh. See that? The screen is busted off. So it's just the shell. It will actually work. I was trying it earlier. Check it out. Game Boy. It turns on. So that's promising, right? I didn't damage it yet. I just broke the housing of it after I cleaned it out. But that was one of the cooler things about collecting Game Boys is I feel as though it's something that if I have the parts for one, I can go and fix it. So what did I do? Let's take a look at what I did. I don't know. Let's see if my droid cam's on for the day. It is. Oh, how pleasant. How pleasant it is. Check it out. I got some Garbage Pail Kid. I don't even know where I found that. It was just hanging out and around here. I wonder if anybody's going to be on this guy. I better look at the chat in case anybody wants to chitty chat. Anybody out there? Who's even watching right now that can chat? It would be nice to know. Let's see. I'll go in the chat here as myself. All right. You're looking at my table. You're looking at the pieces and parts. What I got to do, though, is I want to show you what I printed. What's up, Ryan? All right. Here is... It's a pretty cool print. I must say, it came out pretty good. I don't know what focus that is. Not in focus at all. I need somebody to be my focus racker. Oh, yeah, look at that. I hate that when you watch those videos and people keep it out of focus because they just feel like they can't stop for a second to try to focus it. Well, I did. There you go. You should be happy. Anyways, I printed this one face down. Full infill. This is just PLA. It came out really good. This is a nice part. Man, I feel like it's going to fit some of those pieces. Now, the only thing that I had to do that's a little sus for me right now are these 2 buttons down here. I had to actually print these buttons because they're not the same shape as the buttons that are in the other thing. So what I'm going to have to do is see if these little tabs right here are actually going to push into any of the things that I'm going to do. And then I got the back here. And so these parts just kind of snap together. And actually, I snapped them together before. I'm not sure I want to do it again because they kind of got stuck together and I thought I was going to break it. But they fit really snug. And so then I should be able to put the games in the bottom here. And then this will just be access for the charging at the top. Just a funny thing about this part is somebody made this without this access to the charging and they redid the cabling so that you would actually just plug it in at the top. But I'm actually not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I just wanted access to it. So I think this is where the battery is going to fit. So I just want to see here. See, that does... Oh, shoot. That's not where the battery fits. That's where we're going to shove the game in. So I might have to see if this is even going to work whatsoever. But we're going to try to put it together. And if we can get it together, we might be having a temporary case for this. So that's what's fun about this. Is it's just the outer plastics and you can print your own things. I felt so stupid when I dropped it though. All right, let me try something here. We're going to first have to take this guy apart. And so there, see that that cabling in there? Oof. I'm going to have to yank these little things out. I already know it. So let's just get that done. So do you guys have some good Easter out there? Anybody have any delicious food that they wanted to talk about? I was talking about food earlier. I always like I like deviled eggs. It's like a good excuse to eat a crap load of eggs, right? Because I don't know. I like eggs. I eat eggs for breakfast. Let me see here. There we go. You can get to see this little picture of me too. So you thought, yeah, I thought you were going to drop it. I didn't mean it in a negative way. I just was like, not because you would have dropped it because you're clumsy or anything. It's because I was like more precariously putting it in a stupid place. I remember just like dropping it or putting it like right over in the corner. We're right off camera over here. And I was like, wow, why would I just put something like that right there? So what I'm pulling out right now, if you're interested, are these little plastic stickery things. And what they'll do is I might want to reuse those in a little bit. So I have to pull out my special toolkit here. And what is this one? This one just has all these different screwdrivers and stuff in it. That's pretty helpful. So I think I have a different screwdriver. I just need a regular screwdriver right here. And all these ones are like super specialized. Let's see here. This one looks good. Let's try it. Does it fit? It has to be even smaller than that. That's ridiculous. Why is it so miniature? Here's another one. Let's see here. I think these are going to be too big. I'm going to have to go into this side. Look at, I got all kinds of different screwdrivers for these situations. So what's basically happening right now is, oh wait, these are small 3. I got to make sure I got the right one. Is I need to get a very small Phillips head screwdriver that will allow me to open this guy up. And I do not see a Phillips in this one. I do see a flathead, and I see a tri-head one. So let me look in my drawer down here, see if I got anything more. You got to have like a bazillion different screwdrivers if you want to have a hobby of taking things apart and screwing things together. I'm telling you. So we're going to pull this guy out, and because I know I've used this one before. And let's see here. I think this one looks like it's going to do it. You didn't get any deviled eggs this year? Wait, is that because you're vegan? Alright, I got a screwdriver that's helping us out. We got to keep these screws off to the side because I don't know if I'm going to need to use them. But they look like they go into the screen itself. Or at least hold it in place somewhat. I'm interested to see how this Game Boy is going to really connect in. Alright. So I've been watching Twitch a lot. And there's this guy, Chris Perillo, and he does a show about 3D printing. And he used to do a lot of YouTube channel stuff. And he does this thing where he has, like, while you're printing, he, like, puts a whole bunch of people that are printing at the same time on stream on, like, this other channel, his Locker Gnome channel. It's an interesting concept. I'm not saying we necessarily need to do it, but it was something that I've been watching this stream. He has some interesting followers there. I forgot. I got to get this little piece right here. All right. Yeah, there's definitely pieces of this everywhere. We've extracted the screen pretty successfully. So there you have it. Now there's some stickers and stuff that I might keep on here so I can transplant it to something else. So I'll keep those off to the side. But for all intents and purposes, there's all my pieces. I don't need to fix that. I'm really interested to see if this is going to fit in here. So this screen should fit right in there. That's pretty cool. Oh, crap. Man, it's going to be a tight fit. Look how big that is compared to this. I wonder if those buttons are going to work for me. Is there, like, you know, out of all the holidays, I don't feel like Easter is one of my ones that I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait till Easter. I've never been like a big Easter fan. Oh, okay, I think I know what I need to do. Okay, so I'm going to have to turn this over on this side, and we're going to have to extract the battery first. Get the power out. So I've been playing with that GB Studio quite a bit, and it really kind of just starts piquing your interest once you start understanding how to look up little things that you can do with the characters and things like that. Yeah, definitely C tier. I mean, what is the purpose of it? Is it really just, is it a religious thing? Is it mostly religious? Easter? I'm not sure. Hold on, I need to see into this here. Oh yeah, it looks like I gotta do the 3. Okay. You gotta get a specialized tool here. I don't get any days off for this. I gotta go in tomorrow. I mean, it's Saturday. I mean, it's Sunday, right? No, you don't get any special day off for it. I guess in other countries, though, it's a big deal. Like if you're in like the UK or something, you get like that Friday and that next Monday off. It's a big deal, right? I don't know. I kind of forgot about it this year. I really don't like the food though as much, because it feels like it's prescriptive. I don't know, like you have to have a certain thing or it's not an Easter holiday. All right, I'm like taking my sweet ass time taking this apart over here, I guess. Yeah, so confirmed. Trienemy says the rest of the world gets the Friday and Monday off. It's like a big deal. Like I wouldn't even known unless you had like friends in other countries and stuff, or if you had worked in other countries. All right, we've had this issue last time. I pulled this off and buttons and things fell, and that was fine. Wait, did I get them all? Let's see here. Oh no, there's one more. One right in there. I feel like I know where everything is in this because I did it. I'm doing this at a distance too. I'm not even like hovering over it, just so you guys could see my hands doing this. Is this even a nice shot? Just watching me take apart something slowly, meanderingly talking to myself in a room. It's kind of interesting. All right, we're gonna take that off. Those buttons and adding those buttons on there was a pain in the ass. Remember that? I had to like watch a freaking YouTube video midstream. Oh shit, hold on. There's a piece of a button I already see that's already messed up. The buttons are already messed up. So I'm just going to set that off to the side. We don't need this right now. There's a piece on there that I am going to need to take off. All right, I'm getting pretty excited here because we've gotten down to this core of this, and we're going to have to see if we can get in here. Ham is a pretty traditional Easter thing, I guess. Yeah, I would agree. But I don't know. I don't always get ham on this day. I feel like I need to take this board off of here. So I'm going to have to put these screws off to the side. Oh, man. I got this screw or this these pinchers here. Very helpful. I think there's 3 that hold this board down. And just take them all out. Okay. Got that one. Got this one. So let's extract it and let's see. Okay. Oh, you know what I need to do? Shit. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I know that button's connected over there. So I'm going to turn this over. See all the buttons and stuff? Okay, see this little guy? That's the screen. And so what I want to do is I need to take this ribbon off so I can get the screen out from this infrastructure here. So let's see if I could do that. These are little releases. Put those down a little bit. And this ribbon comes right out. Okay, so now I got that piece out, which is nice. We're going to just set this guy over here. So let's put it by the benchies. Check that out. That's all right. We'll put that on the benchy bench. Next, let's see if we can get this cabling out of here. And the best way to do that looks like... Ooh, what did I just drop out of there? Oh, I dropped out some of the buttons. That's okay. Let's extract the buttons. It's probably the next thing we want to check out anyway. So we're like moments away from figuring out if we're going to even be able to repair this right now or if we're going to have to wait. So this is a speaker system. All right, I don't know if I want anything more to pop out. Probably this thing. We'll put that over there for a second. I feel like I might have to print the buttons that came with the print. You might not be able to use the OG buttons. You have to use the actually fully 3D printed buttons. Because I do actually have a few of the 3D printed buttons, but not all. Now this is the speaker system, so let's see if I can get this out without damaging it. There we go. Put that off to the side. It's magnetized, so of course it's sucking up that little bolt. Alright, so now we got this piece, and there's a little screw right in there. Let's take that guy out. And we got it. I should probably keep all these screws and things together so that if I have to really repair this with the knockoff Chinese case that I got, I can use the at least original screws. Because this casing is toast. I guess I could use this bottom part. Okay, did I get this off? Alright, get that little piece off. There we go. Gotta feed that through. Wish me luck. Come on. Okay. Push it through the bottom. There we go. Screen extracted. Take that little screw out. Alright. Now let's see what we could possibly fit together to make this work. First of all, we got to check this out, right? Let's see if that fits in there. Oh my god, that looks so cool. Oh, this is actually pretty sweet. Let's see here, does it just pop in? How does it go in there? Holy shit, it just fits. That just like popped right in there. Look at that. I mean, it's a little like, is it? That looks cool, right? Jeez. Alright, I gotta check on something here. Okay, so I just needed to check. We're doing pretty good. Stream is pretty just floating along as far as our dropped part. I'm always got to watch that now. I got to be honest with you. I was not excited about this until that screen just popped in there. Like up until the point I was a little bit like, how's this thing going to go? So next, if this screen is in here, this part sits on the back. Okay, so this thing should just be sitting right here. Holy crap. Did they get that to fit that so perfect? All right. So one of the tests I'd have to do then is, are the buttons going to fit? Which I don't think they will. Let's see here. Will they? Let's see here. OG buttons? Yeah, this, okay, so here's the problem. So let me turn this over. The buttons, the original buttons are not going to work in this build. And the reason for that is because, let's see here. Do I have all my button backings? Shoot. Feels like I'm missing one. Well, there's one right there. There it is. So what I'm thinking here is, because we are taking this part and we're making it so it fits in a different location behind here, it needs longer buttons to push to reach the contacts on this side. So that's not a bad thing. It just means I got to go print all the buttons. And so here's a great example of it is I have these two buttons that are at the bottom, and I believe this little thing will fit right at the bottom. Let's see if I can get this on here, which it definitely feels like it is. So when I flip this around, let's not have the screen fall out. When I push these buttons, I could definitely feel like they pop back up. I might have to actually sand them a little bit so they come up popping about really good. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go in there and print the rest of the buttons. But I do have a few things that fit. Like, let's check this thing out. I actually don't know if this will fit. Look at that. It fits so well. You know, I'm kind of bummed because I do want to use my like original keypad, but look at that. It's so inset because it's not long enough. I'm going to have to do full 3D printed Game Boy here. This will be a cool little experiment. So, all right, I'm going to have to get, let's see here, the AB button. I got to also get the D-pad there. I've already printed this button. Oh crap, where's the on-off button? Does it... The SP, what was that? That's on the front of the SP. It was like a light or something. It looks like it's not even been covered. So it's like there's a couple things that it's not going to use. It's going to not use that front one. It's almost going to be just like an original Game Boy. That's going to be interesting. So that's cool. So what I want to do, and this is what you should always do, because I didn't do it last time and I regretted it, is that I want to just line up a couple of these screws, and I'm going to remind myself on video what they are. So I think these guys that I'm taking out right here are what had fixed the screen. This is all the screen screws, and that was what we took apart there. And then these little guys here are my screen bumper stickers. So if I get this new device, I can use it on there. All right, what else do I got? Okay, we got the 3 that adhered it to... Let's see, which one is this? There's 3 of them. Is there only 3 of them? 4 of them. These 4 connected the body housing on the back to itself. And then these 3... What were these 3? Okay. 3 of them took the screen itself and affixed it to the screen. Well, that one's an interesting one. Okay, so I know these ones were the screen ones right here. This screen... Or no, this is the PCB board. PCB board to the device. Then we got, let's make sure I got all my buttons here. So we got our AB button. We got our start and our select button. And then what the hell is this? Let's see here. It has a little light on it. So I guess it's the light button. And we got our D-pad. So we'll keep that. So that's going to be your different backs for your buttons, which we have all that. Then we got our speaker. We got this bolt. We can get that off to the back. We got our battery. And let's just see how this is going to kind of fit with the battery. I'm interested in that because it feels like the battery, we'll have to go and, no, we said this before. That's not where the battery goes. So how will this go? Let's see here. So you got this piece. This piece goes here, right? Now the battery, let's see here. If that goes onto the top, it's almost like the battery has to go here. This is where the battery goes. You can see the contact points for it. It's almost like I need to get a little housing for it or something, because that's not going to work, just laying the battery in there like that. So there's some improvements for sure on here, but let's just go ahead and put it all together since it's all in place. And see if we can't like somewhat snap it in. Said I did it earlier. See if it fits with all the guts in it. Like it fits on these posts. Like I don't know if you can see this, but these like, when it printed these posts that go right over the holes just perfectly. It's actually pretty impressive. Okay. This is the part that's kind of hard. I want to get the feel of this in my hands. Come on, snap in there. Wait, I feel like I'm missing a button. Is it the wrong way? No, it's the right way. Oh, there's the on-off button there. Where is this other button? I must be missing one. Oh, here it is. It's back over on this other thing. There was a button that I was missing. It was the same one that we were missing the last time when we did this. When I was fixing the other one. Let's see here. That feels like that fits. It does. Okay, there we go. 3D printed Game Boy. It's putting in the wrong way. Are you ready to see some GB Studio? It's going to take me some time to fit this in here. I already can tell. This button over here, I'll probably have to do a little bit of sanding in this device, but we're going to try to get some hand feel right now because I can't snap this. Oh, there we go. It snaps in the bottom there. So there we have it. And looking inside, you can see those contact points that are going to line up with everything. So everything seems to line up really well. Man, to have a Game Boy Advance like that, let's see here. Where's a cart that I could use? I mean, there's this little one right here, so that would just fit right in. Oh, yeah, it snaps right in there. I can feel it hitting in there. A Game Boy Advance in the old form factor. This is cool. I like it. Actually, I feel like that was maybe serendipitous that it fell. I don't like breaking things, but now it gave me an excuse to do something like this. So we got that figured out. Let's go take a look at some of the games and things that I've been doing, that I've been building actually, and some of the excited things that I think are next. I'm gonna have to do some modifications, I think, to the interior of here if I really want to use this. So I'm gonna debate how much more time and effort I'm gonna go into this. This was actually a really good print. I'm nervous about the battery casing. I'd say that would be my wrap up on this discussion and what we learned today. Is this battery would have to have some way to be fixed in there. You can't just sit there like this. So I'd have to build in some sort of, I guess, battery casing, housing. I don't know what you would even call that. Because look, this is what the housing looks like when you have the battery and it just sits in there. So I could probably 3D print something that's very similar to this that just fits right in here. And then that way at least holds it in place. But I wouldn't want it hitting against this cathode or any of these other little parts that are soldered in there. And so without that, maybe I could glue something to that. And then, I don't know, it's talking about a lot of modifications. But this is good. We got really close to where we need to go with that. But I do like the hand feel. But there's some things that, because they're not there, it kind of has me nervous, like without having those bumper buttons that I would be using at the top on the other piece. So, you know, those ones that were pretty dramatic. there is no place for these bumper buttons in this design. And then there's also not this middle button. There's a middle button that I guess I don't know what the heck it does. I guess it makes the brightness of the screen. It's this one right here. That is non-existent on this design. So I guess if you like a retro style version of a Game Boy Advance SP, this is a good way to go about it. All right, let's go check out what I've been doing on GB Studio. Okay. Wow, that is a nice little shot back there. So GB Studio, talked about this. This is kind of what got my Game Boy obsession getting back into full swing, because I want to play Game Boy games. I've been playing with Try-N-Me. I've been playing with Ryan out there, and it's been hella fun times. But I just didn't even realize that I could just contribute more to that kind of thing. And so GB Studio has been helping me out. Let's jump in and look at what we were doing earlier. So you saw this where I brought this up. This is the game. So you know what? I'm going to just walk you through a quick few steps here of what you're seeing. On the left-hand side, you're going to have your navigation. Kind of think about this as the way to get your game set up. I have some ideas of what I'm going to talk about on how you can set up a game that's a little bit more structured in some future tutorials. But one of the big takeaways is in this upper left-hand corner, you notice there's a lot of different ways that you can look at the game world itself. You can dive into what a sprite looks like. You can go in backgrounds, music, palettes, all these different things that contribute to this game. And it's really handy to understand how to use this space. And so one way, for example, is if I would go and click on Deeper Underground here, it's going to line up Deeper Underground. So if I zoom in a little bit, and let's say I hit launch site, or I hit logo, or I click over here to sample town, it's going to go to that scene. But if I zoom it out, this is your entire game. I zoomed out too far there. But all these different pieces would contribute to building your game. So when I got this, it did not look like this. I've actually been making some significant modifications here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it really quick, and I'm going to show you what I came up with. And then we're going to just jump right back in, and we're going to talk about how I made a couple things and then where we're going with it. So consider this the first reveal for Evil Dead 2 and where we're taking it. We played a little bit. We saw a little character, but I went a whole different direction because I didn't feel like I wanted to take on that Nintendo feel that's out there, that cutesy kind of thing. So what I got here is my game loading up. That's my logo. There's this. I don't know how legal and everything is. I'm not trying to make money off this. I just want to do a fan-made thing. So take it. I don't own any rights to this. I am just a fan of Evil Dead, and it's my favorite one. So here we go. So first of all, I do have this ability to continue. As I build out this game, there's going to be the ability to save it out. I don't want to give too much away from it, but I also don't want to create like some crazy questionnaire of what's going around this. Is that I really want to be true to the story of the original game. So it might be helpful if you're playing it through from a story perspective to be able to continue at a few spots if you wanted to save in a particular area. In this case, we're just going to start with a new game. Right now, we're not even talking about the story too much. And some of these graphics, actually most of these graphics are not in-game graphics of Evil Dead 2. This is just all work, but one of the things is I have been working on the character design, and if you can see in the upper right hand corner, you got a little ash over here, and it doesn't look necessarily like you would see most I guess characters in there, but the thing is I'm working in 6x6 pixels, and so I'm in this room right here, and if you notice, if I just stand still, the chainsaw is going. It's pretty cool, right? All right, if you look any direction, the chainsaw is going. And we're going to show you how I did that. And I'm going to come back out here for just a second. Some other things I've been working on with the character are now you can swipe the chainsaw this direction or up or down. You can jab and jab and jab. So we have a fully functional Ash, custom built by myself with all the actions of the chainsaw. Now that's cool, right? So one of the next things that I've been working on is the shotgun. Check this out. Boom, boom. We got the boom, boom in the room. Every single direction, except for diagonals and things like that. So I had a really fun time making this shotgun blast. Look at that. I pixel arted that. I'm not a crazy creative person, but I felt like that was cool. So yeah, this little dude does not look it's tough. You only have a couple pixels to deal with, so it's pretty cool. So what we're gonna do is we got this skeleton guy. This is old school Nintendo skeleton style. But we're gonna just go and do some battles with this skeleton, see what it's like here. We're gonna blow him up. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, he's out of the room. Now we can push this thing. Oh crap! It's gonna be really loud. We're not gonna go in that room for a second. I gotta get my speakers ready because it's gonna blast my ears out if I don't do this. Where are we at? So that's what you got to be careful with this, is that there's a lot of sound effects and things that you're gonna hurt yourself if you do. Okay, now let's go back in that room. Let's see what this looks like. Much better. Okay, so first problem is, look at this. With my character having so much black, you can't see his face, so that limits the kind of environments I could do. So if you're gonna do an Evil Dead game, you might want to do some things on black. So that's what I'm saying. He's not the end all, be all here. And we're gonna go back in this room in a second. Oh, we might not be able to get out of this room, and you'll see why, because there's another issue that's going on. That's fine. We're gonna continue forward. So in here, you're gonna notice you saw I could shoot. You saw I could do some things here. I can't shoot or punch in this exact room, but we have a save point, so I can come over here and I could save if I wanted to. Evil has been postponed. Oh, look at those quips. My goodness. All right, so I'm gonna go out here, and first of all, I wanted to show you, I took the same sprite. Now we're in like platformer mode, right? So when you jump, he's massive. Now look at this shit. We got an elephant floating. What the hell is this buggy ass game? Watch out for elephant shit. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that. Ha ha ha. All right, so I was practicing with this parallax background, and I think you could do some cool things. I have some different elements to it. So, okay, so far, we've got Ash in a lot of different environments. We got him in a platformer. We have some boom booms. Now, check this out. He's got slash, right? And jump right now. But he doesn't have shotgun, okay? So, one of the things is, wait, can I go in here? Okay, I guess I can't. So, I got slash for killing things, right? So, check this out. I didn't want to talk to that guy up there. See him above my head, so I just shoved him up there because I would trigger something, and I might want to use his trigger later, but screw him, he can stay up there. But check this out. Right after this the square right here, I'm gonna jump on it. Oh shit! Oh crap! Okay, see, good thing I did reset. All right, when I jump, okay, now I turn my shotgun back on by jumping into that because I have a little area, so I'm gonna blow that guy up. So these are one of my new enemies, the platformer enemies. I took what they already had as an enemy, but all the coding on it is my own. I've been trying to figure out how to kill them with the shotgun. Now, I took away my jump to give myself the shotgun, and so that guy's there. But there's another guy over here, and I can kill him. Shoot him. Here, I'll slash him. Yep, got him out. So now when I step over on this, I got my jump back, but my slash. See? Jump and slash. So I'm going to work with that. There's just an invisible zone right here. If I go back to this other side and I step on this invisible side, I got my shotgun back. Boom, boom. Got my boom, boom back. See? Oh, and apparently I don't know how to unload enemies because they're still there giving their emotes. So, okay, so now I got my jump back. Now I'm going to go further on in the game. There's another save point if I wanted to save. And I'm going to go here. Now I'm going to do the moonwalk. All right, so now I'm in a little town. I'm going to walk around in this little town, and there's going to be a part where it gets really laggy, and it's happening right here because there's some coding on this girl. Okay, I avoided her, so that was good. So I'm going to go up in here. All right. And I'm going to beep boop this thing. So this is part of the game that I didn't create. I didn't do any of this crap because this was all kind of pre-coded. But I put my own Ash in here, obviously, because I'm trying to figure it out. So some of the other stuff, most of the basically everything Ash does as far as slashing and shooting, that's been what I've been working on. The game itself, as I dropped him in, and I've been starting staging out some areas. So this is something that I'm gonna end up using to make a driving part of the game. This just happens to be a little space adventure. Once you get shot into space, you can go up and down here for a second. Ooh, I just got smashed. I don't know what these things are. So definitely not Evil Dead right now. No. This is just the physics of this is what I've been interested in. So I'm spamming this. I don't think that my car is going to be shooting anything. I think it's just going to be like just driving, and you're going to have to just like dodge things as you drive. And then there might be some deers and things that run across the road. Because in the beginning of Evil Dead 2, he drives to the cabin. So I just made it spit back over to here when you were done, so I could just play with this a little bit more and get my guy. So there it is, Ash. But I did want to show you one other thing, just because it was cool. So if I go into this room right here, I've been looking at different world types. So one of them is going into the basement. So if I go into the cellar, into the game, I fell into the cellar. And so if you know about the cellar, you're going to have some stuff that we do with one of the witches and things. And so we'll deal with that. Oh, I got the pages of the book. Okay, so then I'm going to get out of the cellar. And you can see, as I've been practicing, you can see it's hard to see him. So I'm going to be working on his design. So look at this guy that's sitting here, Ed, I will say, versus my guy. That dude has a huge head and a nice little cute body versus mine looking almost that size. So I don't know. I'm going to have to play with it and see if I can get it. I love my little chainsaw and all that. But check this room out, okay? So now I have this room where you can go, and this is a little chainsaw cursor, and you go TikTok. This is the Necronomicon right here. And then, all right, we go down. You see, hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you. Wait. Diamond ring. Oh, wait. Where's the Mockingbird one? Oh, it must not say that part. Anyways, if you know the story, these are all things from the story. This may be where we can get the shotgun at some point. Phonetic translations from Book of the Dead. I was working on this. What would this be? A deer? An elk? I don't know. You're going to have to look at the window. There's something out there. So you can use these environments to be able to explore point and click. So that's going to be a part of it. I like this. This is a great example. I think it looks creepy with the greens and things. I think I captured at least some of the cabin feel with that one. So that was one of my custom work. Most of the other stuff is not me. Let's talk about this. I'm escaping out. We're in the game itself. How do you make a character come to life? I think that's what we're going to just end on today, and we're going to talk about is how you can make a character come to life. And one of the tools that I've been using is this thing called Aseprite. So Aseprite is like a pixel editor. Think about it like Photoshop for pixels. And so I'm going to open one of our things here. Let's see here. I think I put it in Game Boy, and I put Pixel Project. Yeah, it's going to be in here. And we'll do this guy. Ash. Evil Dead 2. Okay. We're going to zoom in and we're going to look at what makes that character. So I spent my time here. Uh-oh. Oh, that was my phone. I thought I heard like a sound effect that was out there, but it wasn't. So here we go. The character design goes in like this. I have 4 colors I can deal with, and you'll see those colors here. Now you'll actually see 5 colors if you're looking at this right. There's black, and then there's this dark like evergreen, and that green is the same as black. If a color doesn't match up to something, it gets turned to either black or a light color. So in general, I was just trying to get the shirt versus the pants, and I knew that basically he would be wearing this black leotard. But what I was trying to do here was in 16 pixels, that's what this is, 16 by 16, and that's what these little cut points are, is what could I create? So little Ash, I figured, throwing his little pompadour hairstyle. Give him a little bit of a hairstyle there. And then he's going to be walking around. So there you just got 2 frames for walking. Then I got 1 frame of he's bending down where he's using his chainsaw arm. And then his other arm is just up. And then another frame of him using his shotgun arm and up. And so there's 4 frames per view. So there's my first 4 frames. Let's go to the next 4 frames. So this is where he's looking up now. So he's going to walk up. And then there's one, of course, again with his chainsaw. And then there's one for his shotgun. And then we go to the next 4. And these are the ones where he's walking to the side. And so it looks so much better in zoomed in pixel view, but when you watch it and you look at it on a screen, you realize, hey, this is not going to work that well. That's why we're going to go to the drawing board. We're going to probably have to redo all of this. But he's walking to the right-hand side now. You got the 4 there. And then here are my weapon sets. So you got this guy, and so I was tricky. I was really tricky in making this because every one of these frames takes away against memory on your Game Boy. And so what I did, though, is you'll notice that there's some greens here and they're interchanging. So this is almost symmetric. So if I took this shape and I just did a complete mirror flip of it, though it would look like the chainsaw is chainsawing, and that's actually how I did that. And then we have a little shotgun, got all that. So how do you get this into a game? That's going to be what we talk about in GB Studio today. There's not going to really much else I really want to talk about. But what you'll do is a couple things, and we're going to not look at the game itself anymore, but I'm going to click over in the upper left-hand corner and go to the thing called Sprites, and this is where you can look at all the different sprites that are in a folder called Sprites behind the scenes. So as you can see, this was my first attempt at Ash, which looked kind of cartoony. I was trying to get away from it just because I liked a little bit more of like a raw thing. This felt too cartoony for me. I needed it to be more Evil Dead-ish. And so I'm going to have to do something in between what you just saw and what this is, then I'm going to extend it out. Now in this one, I also included the chainsaw in the hand, which was not a smart move, and I'm going to show you why in just a second, because I'm going to go down to Ash Evil Dead 2. So this is what makes it cool, and this is how you can get it. So there's my entire sprite sheet. We just looked at that sprite sheet just a second ago. Can I zoom into it? Oh, look at how beautiful that is. You can see it and everything in there. And so over here, or right above it, what you're going to notice is what we call these animations. And I'm going to just pull this up on the left-hand side. You're going to have 3 states of your animation. And so the first state is your default state. So basically, how does your character look when they're idly looking right, idly looking up, or idly looking down? So I went ahead and I adjusted that state. And just in case you're curious where their hitbox is, though, is only ever around them. So anything outside of that hitbox is not going to count against them when they get touched. But what you will get is this ability now to also show what moving forward looks like. And so when you go moving right, it looks like just a stationary frame. But if you look at the very, very bottom here, I'm clicking between 2 states. So when I hold to the right, it's going to just cycle between those 2 states and going to have this effect of me walking. And there's some different speeds and other things that I can adjust to make it look a little bit more real. Now I can use a bunch of different states, and how I get these states in here is if I go down to this bottom. So I'm on this first state. There's my second state. So I want to make a third state, let's say. So if I wanted to come over to, let's see here, this guy throwing a punch, I'm just going to highlight that box, and then here's the state where I can just go ahead and drop it up in the top here. And this is what's cool. So now I have 3 states. It's all boom, 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 boom. And so he would just keep doing that in cycle order. And that last one doesn't really make sense because he's like throwing a punch, and he'd be like taking a walk and throwing a punch every step is not going to be a good character design. And so if we want to see what that looks like, let's just go into what was that? Moving right. So I'm gonna run the game, and we're gonna see what that did. Let's see what the effects of adding just that other state. We're gonna see the punch in there. So unfortunately, I did not load this without having to go to that load screen. Here we go. We're just gonna start with a new game. So if I'm in here now, watch what happens when you walk to the right. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. Oh, and he gets it to the left too. And you know why? Because whatever you do left or do right will go also left. So he almost has this like crip walk. He's like, yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? But then he like loses his chainsaw as he's walking along. All right, so that's an interesting little thing. You can see that. I don't want that to be there, so I'm going to hit backspace. I'm going to delete that, and it's gone. So I showed you that's your default state. That's when you're just walking around. But what happens when you spam the button to hit the chainsaw, or you spam the button to hit the shotgun? Well, then that's where you make your chainsaw guy. And so here's the cool thing. Remember where I made the state earlier where he's like throwing his arm out? And I said this is where he would be holding the chainsaw, but I did not program or even put the chainsaw in his hand. I just put it over here. Well, what I did is, if I go to chainsaw, it's I'm going to create a new state, said idle right. And basically, I'm just going to load this to say when you hit the button, do this for right. And what's different is I'm just using those little chainsaw pieces. If you can highlight these, for instance, and I can put a little chainsaw in here. I can put it wherever I want, or I can use this mirror function to change its orientation and basically use the pixels that are in here by just mirroring them to create these different forms. So really what this is the picture of this guy standing here, and then this chainsaw positioned into his hand. And so I did that for every state. There's his up, there's his down, also did it with a shotgun, and you got your character designed and you got all the different states in there. And so then the last thing you do, and I'm going to go back into the game world, is I'm going to click on the game world, is you have to create these scripts. And I know this just seems scary and interesting, but we'll just talk about it very, very, very shortly, because this is, just double drop down, and I don't want to get too complex on y'all. But what you have is this script where you attach things to the button B, and you basically say, hey, when you hit B, use that chainsaw state that you created. So remember that thing that we just showed you where the chainsaw was going? You're saying kick over to that state. That's what we want to do. And then it's interesting because it's saying, hey, we want you to launch a projectile. But in this case, and we're not going to dive too deep into all this information, but it's basically saying when you swipe, there should be something that hits your enemy that's in front of you. And so this is how you set that up. And what it's basically doing, it's saying which direction is it going to go when you hit the button, and if there's any offsets from the character, how do you set that up, the speeds. And so it took me some time to kind of figure it out with my character design how it would be best set up. So let's just understand that basically when you hit the B button, you got the character chainsaw going, and then we have some code to say here's how you swipe it, and here's where you're going to have your hit space. And then once I do that, I wait for a second, and then I want it to go back to that default state we were just in, the one that you're not holding and shooting the thing, because you're basically saying, turn on that state for a second to look like you're swapping that chainsaw, and then take it back to yourself. And then there you have it. You've got a good, well-made button that works. Now, of course, we haven't talked about hitting things. The only thing I would state is in that projectile, there's this collision group. So there's different groups that you can click on that. And so when you go and create an enemy, you can say, hey, if there's an enemy that's in collision group 1, anything that this chainsaw or this shotgun shoots will be colliding with things in that group. So that was a little deep. I didn't expect to go that deep into it, but it is a fun and exciting platform to be able to build out and do some things. So my biggest thing is I want to learn a little bit more on how to develop my character Ash. I think what we're going to require is a little bit bigger kind of head, maybe a little bit more of a body, because it looks like you're going to have to use black. You almost have to use black outline every time. That's what it's looking like when you have those characters, because otherwise it's just going to just get stuck in that background there. So let's just try it one more time. And we got my walk cycle's back because I put that. It looks like he has almost like a limp. But I mean, it does look okay, I guess, at this screen size, but on a Game Boy, because I've been playing it on a Game Boy, it doesn't look as great. Let's see here. See the right, that looks good. That looks good. Down, I mean, and it all works. That one's like a really like hard swipe up. If he's gonna swipe up but then down, it's like a little tiny jab. And then I was really proud of that shotgun. Boom, boom. You got the boom booms. I didn't even show you how to do shotgun. I had to do some special work to get the projectile to look like that. All right, well, I think that's gonna do it for me today on Double Drop Down. We got some cool things. I got some work to do in that Game Boy. I feel as though I'm probably not going to finish it in that housing because that battery thing is really messing with me. Oh, we'll solve this puzzle to get this out. So this is a cool little part of it. This is not something I coded. I just threw the guy into it, but I like the concept, and it's something I'm totally going to do. But we're basically, you can push blocks around, and you can kind of create little puzzles. And so I think this would be a fun thing if you're in the basement level looking for the pages. See, this is exactly how I imagine the character looking. So if I did it on light backgrounds, I could probably get away with this character design if I cleaned up that walk cycle a little bit. Looks good. See those chainsawing. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Where can I go past? Oh, there's something here. it won't let me pass through. There must be something there. What is it? Oh, no. All right. Let's push this over here. Ice block, and boom. Success. Yeah, I knew that was there. So I go into space. There's the portal from Evil Dead. Then you'd be an army of darkness. I always lead everything back to here just so I can kind of go try all those different worlds. All right. I don't know if there's anything more I need to say. So you guys have a good night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out me trying to figure out this whole system of fixing my Game Boy SP. It looks good. I feel like I'm probably just going to go with the new case that comes in the mail because then I can get to that form factor again. But for the time being, now I at least have it housed in something that looks pretty cool. So thank you. Good night. Have a good week. Man, it's another Sunday night going into a Monday. You never like those. Peace out.